All right. Welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota, and you are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network. Well, today we'll get another very interesting discussion. We'll get for Kamek and it get for do with Secretary General, the APC National Secretary General, Lansana Dumbuya. If you remember last week, I talked about Lansana Dumbuya. Um, I talked about the APC executive, and what happened a few days ago. We get for can discuss on that's the fine way they find the APC and well the suspension and the payment of the suspension and the subsequent arrest of with Secretary General when Lansana Dumbuya. We can talk about that. But I just want everybody to be part of this conversation. So what I do, I go put the link here if you want to be if you want for Canada the um, if you want Canada the program for can talk. But if you're not able for Canada the program, just put your comments as usual, the way most of them are used for do. Put your comment at the comment section of the platform where they watch me from. We broadcast on four platforms. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Caster, and the websites. So any one of these way you they watch me from, with the exception of um, the website, you can put your comment at the comment section of the platform.
So they broadcast on the
So
YouTube, Facebook.
so waiting at the implication here today, and I want to make people they listen very carefully because waiting with the can do today, we can try for digest the rules where they say National Dumbuya commit. That's not the first thing. And when they look at the criminal and civil side of that rule there, then we they expand on what we've been talking about last week. We get for do with the PPRC, they find where they find the APC party. And after that, we will take una calls, una comments, we read una comments them. And I didn't see how we get for candle. So the and for me, I get a little bit of fresh cold. We are the talking. We read that yes, I'm a little bit stuffy. But this is very important for me to discuss. That's why I have to be here with you guys. So thank you very much for being here with us. Now let's start with let me go back and try for reiterate what I been talked last week about the PPRC they find way they levy against the APC party. Then they walk through, they go up and talk about the arrest and charge, where they charge Lansana Dumbuya. Now, there was a meeting, I believe, say in Atuga Stadium, where subsequent people them they talking about the APC, they get a meeting Atuga Stadium. I don't know whether a meeting nowadays, whether not the executive, not the maker or whatever. But during that time, there was some kind of a celebration and a rebuke towards the government and the system itself. Now, two of the people that we actually talk, now Zanab Sharif, we an artist, and Zanab Sharif say the thief election. So anybody with thief election, thief Sierra Leone election, they need for kill that family members them and all those type of things. Okay. That's what Adumbuya says self calm. It said well, it not say kill. That's what Adumbuya saying. Yes, the president, the SLPP, then see free elections. Now, Because of waiting Zanab Sheriff say, they say now the APC party they for fine. So the PPRC fined the APC party, I think about $16,000, 300 or something million leons. Um, this is a lot of money, right? A lot of money for them kind of petty stuff that they. So they find the APC party. The APC party refused and say it's unfair. And I talked about this last week, how unfair this particular rule is. What's in the rule? If any member or supporter of a political party violates within the PPRC call a violation of their own standards, then the political party is responsible. Huh. And not to the PPRC put this law. Not to the PPRC. This law was actually enacted in Parliament in 2022. Now, just like what I talked last week, where were the APC MPs or any MP, so them in there, where they see, don't say, tell them go pass this law. How could this happen in our democracy? If somebody do something because of your affiliation, you are going to be held responsible. Well, Ezekiel 18:20, I'm quoting you the Bible for one of the Christians there. Ezekiel 18:20 say, the father shall not bear the iniquity of the son, nor the son bear the iniquity of the father. Now, the APC party is not even like that. You understand? The APC party is not, the APC party is just an institution wherein everybody get the right, as long as you are a Sierra Leonean, you get the right for make you belong. If somebody will associate himself with the APC party, say something when a ridiculous the way the government not appreciate, why the APC party is supposed to be held accountable? This is very ridiculous. It is. But like what I say last week, in as much as it's a ridiculous law, a law we're not supposed for actually then we law books then, it's the law. Because it's parliament, the only institution in the country we're obligated for pass law for the country, pass this law. So in as much as we at the APC, me in particular, I detest this law until they revoke this law or modify it, it's still the law. The bad law, but not the law. I want to let people that understand me very carefully what they try to talk about. It doesn't mean because a law is bad, so therefore for follow that law. This was where I held the APC party to contempt for say, why are you keep repeating the same mistakes we be not do? Where some few folks there na the party, the leadership, and they just sit down, they feel say, now how then they think na so things supposed to go. They say, we know they pay that money, or we know they make any attempt for try for challenge this fine. Would they just they sit down? They sit down there. The people are actually. It was after the suspend, the APC party come out and pay this money. Just they put anxiety to the members then. Like I said last week, sheep way you get for tote, no, she don't take a dirty himself. Because at the end of the day, now you get for rub that dirty day. Now it happened with what it happened so. Even though immediately after the suspension, whoever was able to come up with that money to be paid will tell them plenty thank you. But the anxiety way the executive put on the supporters, the members, them was unnecessary. Then get the right for going to court and challenge the fine. If they don't go to court and challenge the fine, probably the suspension could not have happened because the issue is in the court. And maybe the court could have looked at the argument and maybe win the case. But if you want to pay the money, no, you don't tell pass they suspend you, then now the time now where they come and pay the money, pass they suspend you. That was the part of the APC party where they make wrong, where it's not supposed to happen at all. But the law itself, like I said, is very, very ridiculous. This is not the type of laws where we're supposed within a modern democracy. In America here, or anywhere in the world, where you begin, when an adult say something or do something, not to then they can arrest. No, then they find out. They go arrest them. Not to you. So why Sierra Leone put this law for say, okay, if any of you are a member or supporters them, then do something we violate what we don't put together. Now with the old. Now, Dr. Mankota is here in the United States, a member of the APC party. If I ridiculously say something where probably the government they think saying an insult to them, they are going to hold my party accountable for that. The party not get nothing to do with Dr. Makota. Just like any member of the SLPP will do something or insult or whatever, you don't get nothing to do with the SLPP party. So why are we tolerating this? Well, it comes from the same parliament we supposed to protect, then they put laws that will protect the people, the citizens. Because these are the people who send in the parliament. The citizens sent these people to parliament. He said, and they put law for protect their own interests. Political parties are now on the hook. That is very bad. Now, what thing can happen? After they don't pay the money, we come to Lansana Dumbuya. Lansana Dumbuya in statement for say the president if the election. That was the reason why they arrest him. The president thief the election. Or he called the president Tiffy, according to the CID boss. That's what the reason why to make the arrest him. Okay, now then charge him for insult. So now if we call the president Tiffy, that's now an insult, and now an insult is no longer a civil matter. An insult is now a crime, a criminal matter. So therefore, the criminal court, for charge you and try you. Is this what we are looking for in our democracy? Civil matters are now being converted into criminal matters just because you want to go after somebody. Let's say, to me, I don't think say for say Tiffy na insult to. Okay, but if you say me, I believe say an allegation where President Bio, like I said last week, supposed for go to court and sue whoever call him Tiffy. It's a defamation of character. It's not an insult. And a defamation of character should be tried in a civil court, not in a criminal court. But today, the SLPP get everything at their own disposal. Now they are changing the rules. Tiwa is supposed to be a civil matter. Now it's a crime. But you know why I say this? Not for today, not for tomorrow. For people like we, so we're not so indebted into that partisan bickering, we are always pointing out the inevitable cycle of revenge. Saloma and Apostle like revenge. I don't believe in revenge. I believe in forgiveness. Okay? But I can guarantee you, there are a lot of APC folks right now, waiting that they pray God for, make the APC come back to power, for make them revenge on some of them here. It's not going to work the way it's supposed to. This is killing our democracy. Okay, Lansana Dumbuya called the president Tiffy Tiffy. So what? The presidents don't call the APC government, they tell we him be a opposition leader, na so a yampi Tiffy Tiffy. Even an Escoma alone been called Tiffy Tiffy. The entire membership and government, he been called Tiffy Tiffy. We not arrest her. We not put her in a court because it's part of the democratic freedom of speech. As long as you not cause too much of harm, we can allow you for make at least make you say what you get for say. Now, the same people we been they use this type of statement or words announcing it's a criminal for use the same statement where them they use. Does this make a good democratic process? No, it does not. It is not. So Lansana Dumbuya has been charged for insult and incitement for calling the president Tiffy Tiffy. I don't know what team now the decision of the APC leadership, and I never consulted any of them. So I cannot tell you that this is what they plan to do or not. But what me believe, this is a violation of Lansana Dumbuya human rights. It is. You know why they arrest Lansana Dumbuya? It's not for because he called the president Tiffy Tiffy. It's not because of that. It's a warning shot for the next coming election. It's a warning shot. Lansana Dumbuya is not the last one to be harassed or to be humiliated. As the election time near, then they continue for Khartoum. Some of we leaders them. Now, you know what they get for do with Lansana Dumbuya? Like when they don't charge and so, then they hang them. They know they give verdict to, then they hang, or if then they give verdict, then they incriminate them and left her so. Within that they do in politics, you shut your opponent from speaking. Now, I talked about this last week I talked about this last week. Lansana Dumbuya, the one for shut am down so that he not get no much for talk any longer. Because now, when he dey talk, he dey think say he get a case where they not head. This is the tactics where politicians dem dey use, especially people dem wey na dictators dem. That's what dem dey use. If dem see you say you dey yap too much, then the hang case na you aid, dem left am so. Dem just dey hang am, dem left am. That case dey now, na im dey serve as a deterrent for you for making you continue for opening mouth. I don't know if Lansana Dumbuya is going to run for the Secretary General again. I don't know, but this now a way for shut am down. And as members of the APC party, I'm talking about level-headed members of the APC party, we should continue to defend our rights, including the right of we Secretary General, Lansana Dumbuya. If Mada Bio feels say na defamation of character, it dey go na court, the civil court, it goes to Lansana Dumbuya for defame in character. But this is not a criminal court case. This is not a criminal case. It has something to do with criminality. How many people that we don't cause in the past few 7 years? That's alone. The other people that they cause, the APC they cause. This law was already there in 2022. You know how many SLPP and the diaspora and we always been the cause we executive. Why this law was not invoked against them people then there? This tells you that there was nothing like implementing or enforcing the rule. It's a selective justice. You pick whether you enforce the rule against. It's bad. It's really, really bad for democracy. Because the APC, they come back in power and say, you know, that's what they do. We say they can't do them so. I hope say the APC not going to do this. I believe so. The APC not going to do this. But this has to stop. Somebody has to speak out. And that's what we are doing. For say, the SLPP, the things that way them they criticize, they are doing the same thing now. I remember when Lawrence Lima was arrested. Remember what Lawrence Lima be say when they arrest him? The entire convoy of the SLPP were there in Freetown condemning the arrest, condemning the CID, condemning the APC government, saying a bad thing, it's not supposed to happen now with democracy. We're supposed to appreciate and tolerate freedom of speech, all those type of things. Then in the street. I mean, I see them. Some of them we argue, and some of them their arguments. I agree with that. I agree with that. Why something where you been a talk saying a bad thing and now a good thing? Just because now you now don't hold the power. So now it's good. This is the problem we get now with society. Vengeance, arrogance, and emotional detachment. That we get now with society. Let's say then convict Lansana Dumbuya. May God forbid it. Then what? You the jailer? You make let you pay a fine? Huh? You make Lansana Dumbuya pay a fine? That's a civil matter. See, now you come back now. It's just the the criminal side and the civil side. Just because you want to humiliate somebody, they say Lansana Dumbuya, they yap too much. This behind time, Lansana Dumbuya, they yap too much. So therefore, we get for we get for teach a lesson. That's his constitutional right for yap. Freedom of speech, now a foundation in our democracy. Sometimes, what is somebody they say, you know, like him, but he has the right to say so. If you feel say that person they defame you, you go to court. You go to civil court because it's a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter. That's the emphasis that I'm putting here. That this is not a criminal matter. It's a civil matter. I don't know if they don't release her or not, because the last time they say they detain her on Panemba Road or whatever place after the charges, just for humiliate this young man, just for humiliate him. The next person we they get for put case, Lansana. Hopefully Lansana no they run again. I don't know whether Lansana still they run. I have no clue. But if Lansana no they run again, hopefully some of them people yeah, if they know they run again, you don't get for affect the APC going forward, because a new administration is going to take place. But they are trying to shut us down. This is just another experiment. So I remember in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, up to 23, where I quickly realized what the SLPP they do. I tell you say, now experiment. This is another experiment. And they start with one. If we not take action, and they continue, and they shut we down one by one. One by one. That's what they shut we down. If we not stand, I'm not saying you have to go to the street and cause problem. No, no, no. I don't believe in violence. And there is no need for violence for that. There are so many tools who they use for pressure the system. We have the ability as citizens. So the APC leadership believes say they all stand together and resist some of this experiment. We are not animal to be experimented. The implication here, as I said, is the election, 2028 election. If they start with one, will not resist. During the election, they will begin capture some of who members them, because we have no power to resist. As we all know, I don't criticize Lansana Dumbuya because of his style of leadership, but that doesn't negate a right, a human right where he gets. And we are here to defend him, to say he get the right for to call the president if the president facing a defamation, the president says supposed to go na a civil court and sue, and let them go sit down, let them talk. Would that win? Yeah. If yes, the court say Lansana Dumbuya defame him, they pay fine, they pay damages. That's the only thing. They're not supposed to put him na prison for that, except he's not able for pay. So these are some of the things I want to discuss today with Una. The democracy way we want for design must have the guarantee of citizens for express themselves freely, peacefully. This embedded in the foundation of the process. Because, to be honest with you, I know say a lot of people there now, especially the one the way hate Lansana Dumbuya, and they celebrate. Say, yeah, Naim, Lansana Dumbuya, the executive them. Because one thing we I noticed, the electoral justice guy, some of them they attack something like this. Kemosi say, because Kemosi say there was no right for America the arrest Lansana Dumbuya, they need for release him. Some of the electoral justice guy we get problem with Lansana Dumbuya because Lansana Dumbuya is part of a system and executive where uh, they go against the electoral justice guy. So if one of them they try for defend Kemosise, Lansana Dumbuya, that's a betrayal. That's exactly the words where some of them put and say that a betrayal for defend Lansana Dumbuya. Emotional instability. You know, things say if it happen to Lansana Dumbuya today, tomorrow it will happen to you. Don't believe so? We not for tolerate injustice, no matter what in the circle, no matter what in the relationship where you get with person. If you see them they um violating human rights, stand up for that. Me don't stand up for even some SLPP folks then at this platform. I don't stand up for some of them because injustice in one place is an injustice everywhere. If we're just able to learn this and gear towards the prevention of some of them, petty stuff that we leaders there, we leaders are not petty people there. Most of them are petty people there. And get this habit for say, I will tell you who that me. Me na the Minister of Interior, me na the Minister of Information, me na the Minister of Foreign Affairs, me na this, me na that. So I will tell you who that me. Very petty behavior. So we are calling on the government and the court to please release Kemosise. It should be released. If they're not released, they're not don't release it. Because since we then say they're sending up an rule and not being follow up again whether they don't release or not. Hopefully they don't release them, but if not, yeah, if you get any idea for say they don't release Kemosise, let me know, okay? Yeah, put them at the comment section of the platform where they watch with from. They have to release this guy. This guy, I don't think say it criminally violates anything. Now, I want to reiterate the tools where the government they do, the tools where the government they use for go after the opposition, mostly the cyber laws. Either the police are not trained enough to understand cybersecurity, or they are using it deliberately for just intimidate, harass, and violate the right of citizen wey happen for get different opinion from the government. Cyber laws not tell you say if somebody call you tiffy tiffy, cyber law they kick in. Cyber law should focus on the criminal activity of people, individual, the criminal activities. That is why it is called cybercrime law. Now, within the government or the police they do now, they don't erase the line of demarcation between freedom of speech and cyber criminal activities. So they don't merge the two. So you don't know within outside the civil rights of individual stops and outside the criminal behavior of individual starts. There is no longer a border. There is no longer a line. That's not a drift towards dictatorship and abuse of power. Cyber laws focuses on cyber crime. Okay, that's the law we the police supposed to enforce, not to forfeit for political revenge or whatever. If we not stand up just because somebody waiting far away right now, now in the victim, what happened when the time reach when you are victimized? I've been not giving a story here, very, very educative story, but I will do that. I will say that again for the benefit of the one that we don't ever hear that kind of story. There was a chief in one village. You can name the village anywhere, Nasalo. This is just a story for now we able to learn because we people that they learn for teach through stories. Okay. So this chief, he gets a wife born one Pekin. The Pekin is just the begin for crawl, very young kid. So this Pekin crawled towards the grass by the house. The cow, the sheep, the fowl, the goat, then they try for eat the grass on the other side. So the Pekin crawl towards the grass. He go inside the grass, sit down, they play. Below snake day, na the grass. The first thing we see the snake, na the fall. You see the snake, they go towards the Pekin. Now they he alert the sheep, the goats, and the cow. Say, hey, this snake they go towards that Pekin day. If we not try for prevent harm, if this snake bite this Pekin day, now trouble, and not trouble for the beginning no more, trouble for we. The cow, you know, the biggest among the family. The cow say, that's not my problem. Now the chief and his wife and whoever they in that family, now they no problem that one day. The goats are the same thing. They say not to him problem. The sheep say not to him problem. Well, the fall is very, very small. So you're not able for challenge. I say okay. So this snake come, the Pekin take the snake if he's in a toy. As he take the snake, so the snake bets the Pekin. The Pekin cry. The snake run away. The mommy can't take the Pekin because the Pekin they cry. You don't know what will happen. Within minutes, this Pekin begin for convulse. He died. Eh, this and then can find out saying a snake na better. Now the poison, na him kill the Pekin. People, the mommy cry, everybody come, na the house, na the village, people then they cry for this Pekin. Cry, 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 cry. We after a few hours, I say, well, this not buried. Now people do. Say, well, now for cook for the burying. I say, well, we guys fall there under. I think say we go able for use them first for now. The fall we been see the danger we alert the sheep, the goat, and the cow. Now the first victim. Until them say not to not to them business. Now the first victim. Then go catch them, kill, then cook for the people the way they come. When the 3 days time come, they say, well, people then get for come over for the 3 days. What do they do? They say, well, we get goats them. Goats. The goats we been saying not to you problem. Now somebody else in problem. They get for all then kill them. The sheep, where the 7 days come, now the same thing. They say we get sheep, then kill them. Well, the 40 days, you know, say now the biggest occasion that one day for the funeral. Now a lot of people there then they come. So they need for cook boku food, and would that the best thing or animal, the cow. Then get the cow, then kill. What in this story teaches we? This story teach we say, not sit down, evil they manifest itself, even if it is far away. Okay? The cow, the sheep, the goats, we been talk to the problem. It turned out to be not their problem. So now that make me always, whether they see injustice they go around or they go on, whether now we on side now the APC or now SLPP then side, and they always come and try for put down that fire, say no, this is injustice, don't do that. And a lot of me brothers and sisters there sometimes we don't understand me. They say, oh, why you for go defend SLPP person? Why? You na APC. Then begin attack me because I don't have right to defend SLPP injustice. Okay? So this na a lesson we will get from land. For say, where there is injustice anywhere, injustice everywhere. Now, Lansana Dumbuya. It is far away from me. Probably about 10,000 kilometers away from here, Usade, to Freetown. 10,000. But justice anywhere is justice everywhere. Especially when it comes to our democracy. We should not obsessed with partisan politics. Lansana Dumbuya, if he commit a crime, okay. But you get to match the crime with the punishment. We get different types of cases in salon where the constitution clearly defined for say this, if you do this, now a civil matter. So the civil courts should be responsible for that. If you do this, now a criminal matter. So the criminal court supposed to take care of that. Those are some of the separation we will not use as alone. Why now everything we just match together? Anything that somebody do not crime. Hey, SLPP folks, as I do now very well. After 2028 now, the same they can begin yap. Now the same they can begin talk. Yes, the APC now dictators them. The APC them violate we constitutional right. The APC now this, the APC now that. Right now, when I know they turn and tell the SLPP say, no, this is not right. An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. So I call on the SLPP, whether you didn't the diaspora, you didn't salo, for make an affect injustice. It doesn't matter where it comes from. This is what people like we should do. And a union for them. una comot behind Lansana Dumbuya. E get right for say tiffy. If the president he had to am, if he's in a defamation, then the president go na court, na the civil court, and sue Lansana Dumbuya. There is no need for go arrest Lansana Dumbuya because it for go detain am just because he call the president tiffy. It's a civil matter. That is my take on this. And I want for you from Una where they watch. What do you think? You think, well, not to think. I don't say not true. For say the police has been used as a tool for politicians the way they in the position of powers. Usa you expect Usa you think say na they orders from above come out. Do you think this not a civil matter or not a criminal matter? So I want to make you put your comment at the comment section of the platform where you watch way from. Please let's have a discussion, please. Okay, let's have a discussion. Let's have a frank discussion. All right. Now they come to the comments now. They begin with the comment section. Yeah, I want to make you be part of this conversation because this is a national discussion. If you be part of the conversation, you will able for expand your knowledge and able for help we self we able expand with knowledge because knowledge is not exclusive. You did learn from the least expected person. And that make I know they always short somebody because he says something. Even if I disagree with you, I will tell you so well, I disagree with you on this. I give me reason. But I know they shut you down. The only people that want to shut down the one the way they come with this uncouth behavior. Other than that, I really appreciate and I really encourage you for make we get this discussion, okay? Important for we all. Now let me come to the comment. All right, let's start with Momo Fowai. Momo Fowai said, Sierra Stephen left bad legacy for APC. His reign was characterized by mamikos. Lansana Dumbuya should know that Sierra Leone has moved on. It's no longer fashionable. All right, who's mamikos wey Lansana Dumbuya cause? Yeah, I want to know because, like I said, knowledge is not exclusive. There, Mr. Momo Fowai, tell me exactly which cause, Mami cause, wey Lansana Dumbuya cause. I just want to know because these are some of the misinformation way they go around social media. Maybe I'm not privy to the cause, but if you can't tell me, probably I go able to learn from there. But even if it's a cause, it's a civil matter. That's the foundation of the argument. All right, Christopher Yankasi, I don't think the refusal of bail by the court is right, especially when he is not a flight risk. Anyway, politics at play. This is the problem that I'm saying. There is no reason why Lansana Dumbuya should be even detained for expressing in civil rights. He should not be detained. If he said tiffy, I don't think it's not a crime, not a civil matter. Yes, you go to court, civil matters, you go to court and you sue the person for damages. You're right. Politics is actually at play. There's no need for denying bail. All right, Mama for I say, taking him to court gives him the opportunity to prove APC's long trumpeted accusation of 2023 Mada Bios election, Tiffy. Now let's wait a minute, Mr. Momo for why. Tiffy, let's say that the president equal Tiffy according to the CID. Let's say he call the president Tiffy. A defamation of character. right? Defamation of character, the last time I checked, is not a crime. It's a civil matter. You go to court, you go sue the person for making it show you why they call you tiffy tiffy. If you're not able to show you for proof, then he has to pay damages for defame you. Very simple. These are simple things we just need for land. Okay. Christopher Yankasi, these things will continue to happen for the next 50 years or more. The only thing the APC should concentrate on electing their flag bearer and unify all factions of the party. That's true, but the point here is it's going to be a circular, this circular, a circle of violence, because now the SLPP are going after the APC. Then if the APC come, then say, well, then we go after we yourself or go after them. Well, then go after the SLPP. When the SLPP come back, if they get for come in the near future, then we'll begin say, oh, the APC, then that's what then do we yourself with the candidate. See this circular of violence where they try for prevent say enough is enough. We have to treat ourselves like human beings. We have to treat ourselves like brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter the political party we differentiate with is just a process. It's just a process. It's not something that we should kill ourselves for. All right. Christopher Yankase, in fact, Doc, some faction of the APC are celebrating now. Guess who? Yeah, I see them. I see them. I see the electoral justice guy. In fact, then go after their own because somebody says, no, well, this is not fair for Lansana Dumbuya. I will not release the guy. Kemosi say pull out an audio where he defend Lansana Dumbuya. The electoral justice guy then go after Kemosi say for betraying them because to them this is a betrayal. They want for say Lansana Dumbuya is dealt with by the SLPP, the same SLPP, where the same electoral justice guy then they say this not the thief with election. You see how ridiculous it is sometimes? Now, for the past 2.5 years, when they go to public, when they say, Mother be thief with election. The electoral justice, the electoral commissioner then thief with election. This now your line of defense, now your line of argument. If somebody come and say then thief with election, now you say let them deal with them. Contradiction. This is some of the ridiculousness of some people, the way that they think. Even if he now is so in line, just because he hates you, he say let them deal with you. The electoral justice guy should celebrate for Lansana Dumbuya for come out and say tiffy tiffy, the tiffy election, because this now your own line of argument for many years, 2.5 years. Now this one they say. So we are not celebrate, we are not defend Lansana Dumbuya because he take on our own position. Instead, we want for make them deal with them. It don't make sense, oh, brah. It don't make no sense. All right, let's go to Momo Foa. Momo Foa said, "So Mankota, what is Trump doing differently in America? Killing his own nationals, broad daylight, arresting babies and deporting them across the world." It digress. But in any case, I go answer you, my brother. It's a disaster. We all know say waiting to go in America now a disaster. America used to be the beacon of democratic, especially freedom of speech. Most of the people that are now affected are not even most of the people the way that I read and say they kill, most of them are not even illegal immigrants. They are not. They are swept by the system, or just because they stand up for themselves or for the people where they face it, then they anyway. I know for the digress. Let's come back to the main point here, and that is the arrest of my brother. Sarah say, I believe that this incident was all orchestrated to the APC party and the police. Lansana Dumbuya's rhetoric are very divisive in dangerous within the APC internal electoral process. Okay, but is it a criminal act or a civil case? This is my point of argument. It doesn't matter. It's a law. Like where they find them, so that's fine. The PPRC where they regulate political parties, where they keep political parties from misbehaving, then don't levy $16,000 fine for this. Now, if Madabio, where they accuse saying at Tiffy, if you say, happy, what did they do? They go to a civil court and sue the hell out of Lansana Dumbuya, where say Tiffy. It's not a criminal matter. It's a civilian matter, a civil matter. That's not my point where they insist, you know. Sarah say this is all organized between the top ranking APC members and the police to ensure a smooth lower level election. I don't. Oh, okay. Sarah, are you saying this was something that was orchestrated by the APC for or connive with the police for arrest one of the young just for the lower level election? I don't really understand. You are elaborate more because I've been facing a got to do with other things, but the 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 theory way they bring is new to me, but I want to make you expand and make I able get a clear understanding of what you say. Uh, Christopher Yanka say Lansana Dumbuya is in prison and will reappear on Monday. Yeah, not humiliation. They want for humiliate the guy. This is all. Way that them pull him, it will set him out. That's not the purpose this. They want for just shut and down, so that because quite recently, now even with PRO, they know they go na public like the way Lansana Dumbuya quite recently they go na public. So they want for shut and down. And this now the best way for shut and down. First humiliate them, degrade them, then left arm, just hang that trouble in head, that case in head, you left arm. That's what they do. Samura. Then be no say Samura is going to be the flag bearer. You know, they put her inside the commission of inquiry, then make some case cake and then give her for it. When you don't eat, I didn't in Belen, they say, okay, until everything in Belen now, I left and so now. And that makes Samura away the election door then pronounce. The APC folks, some of the leaders and say, no agree. No agree. Now we go on the streets. Samura not get man come on the streets because he get case. You see the theatric way they play before even the election. See that theatric way they play? They even spend money, pay unnecessary money for Canada, New York, for just casting, bring Samura for make them able for massage in psychology to the extent where it will be very weak, not go able for so much, so that if anything happen during the election, where Samura want for say something, then he just remind us say, "Bra, you get kids, so be careful." Now the same thing they try for do to Lansana Dumbuya. Because Lansana Dumbuya, they say they yap too much. So now this politics is very nasty, man. You know. All right, let's go to Sarah. Sarah say the cyber law and freedom of speech in the US and the Western countries are different from the ones in Africa and Sierra Leone in particular. Yeah, because the cyber law here is more focused on real crime, on the freedom of speech of citizens. In Sierra Leone, they not even get a line of demarcation. There is no longer difference between criminal cyber crime and freedom of speech. We will not get her again. And I've been talking, I've been warning her. I don't know, Sarah, I don't know during the time when they try for debate on this cyber law after we then put the first draft. I've been talking about that now. I say this is going to be an abuse of citizen because the laws are so vague, the clauses are so vague, anybody can take them and use them the way you want for use them. This is exactly now they happen. The one in the way I've been again, now they happen right now. Na Sierra Leone. Cyber crime, even though the cyber crime the tools they use for arrest them. It's very, very sad. All right, let's bring in, I think somebody comes in. Okay, now this is not Conotry. Conotry, I can give you 2 minutes, so how they do?
Hey, my brother, I dey do well. How about you?
Wonderful.
Yeah, we at the East Coast today. We get 45 to 50 degree. It feels like a heat wave. It feels like a 80 degrees right now. Everybody to go crazy for enjoy
Come,
the nice.
come on, man. Come on, man. Well, right
Yes,
now,
sir.
the West Coast social media is the
Uh-huh.
best place to live right now. When summer
Indeed.
come,
Hmm.
you go feel say na hell you dey when you
Yeah.
can na during summer, especially na Phoenix na. So I understand the point with it. And the thing about the differences between we na the West Coast and una only na the East Coast, una own is humid because of the ocean.
Yep.
We
Yep.
now the heat is dry. So una dey sweat so normal. Una yanda I like na small heat like what you talk so 45 degree, if it be like 80.
Indeed.
Because the heat. I sympathize with you, my brother. So what's up? What are you on take?
Well, I want tie this weather into what I dey try to say. Um, who then at the East Coast when a majority of America live at the East Coast. Over 60% of the population
Yep.
live at the East Coast. What do we go do today for get salon type of weather?
That's a lot in America, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We at the East Coast. We go destroy the world right now to get with the weather. Where will people and get a salon right now? Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sierra Leone weather is getting similar to the East Coast. If you go Salon weather, especially during around March, April, May, June to July,
Mhm.
or let's say summer. Forget about the rainy season. Summer is very, very humid. The same the weather una get because I think una very close and now una get now the Atlantic now they una who state where they now the
Yeah,
Atlantic
now the Atlantic. Yeah, now the Atlantic will get. Now the
yeah,
Atlantic will
exactly.
do. Yeah.
So just now just look now the same Atlantic the wind and pressure where they come on at the Atlantic it dissipates across it can American area, the other one they go na Africa, especially Sierra Leone and other Atlantic country in Sierra Leone. We are going to Sierra Leone during summer, bro. It hot,
Yeah.
and it
Well,
humid just like East Coast.
Well, my brother, and part of that then the deforestation where they happen in our land. Part of that
Exactly.
then the environmental disaster what we don't allow to go on our land in so-called foreign investment. But I go get to that day. Let forget that day for a second. I want to talk about APC. I mean, this is a serious thing. For me, what thing happened with PPRC? First of all, let me start by saying PPRC is exceeding its mandate. PPRC is becoming a referee where it decide who they become leaders, whose party this, who that for win. Me believe say that they exceed the mandate. I think PPRC need for reform. But let's put PPRC for a second too. For find a political party as APC, wait on this for over 50 years. to see these people and know you will pay that fine. This is telling, not just for the APC party, but for the country. If these people, after 50 some years, cannot manage their finances, why we for entrust this party for rule this country? That's a question. This for una na APC, una did it. I want to self think about that question there, and Salon for think about that question there. It speaks volume. It speaks volume for the nonsense what's in the go on that Salon. Hey, my brothers and sisters, we're in trouble. Look, the president they arrest an opposition for freedom of speech. The president, I mean, this is nonsense. Even for sue the man, and not get right for suang. If you're not the president of any country, people have the right to say whatever the heck they want to say about you. That is their perception. Except it's something very, very malicious, you know, where you go to court and prove. But beyond that, a president not got that executive immunity, say nobody need to criticize them, except you're a dictator. I mean, this for be an alarming, because we see a pattern of this. Again, we see again the other people where the president and his wife they arrest just because they talk. Hey, my brothers and sisters, this is alarming. No, for una then at the West, una see what thing they go on. Now the same thing they go on at Salon. No difference. Yeah, but I mean, with we own, they just lock you up for no fucking reason. Excuse me, Fulani. I apologize, me people. I apologize for that language.
It is very weird for compare civil rights violation Sierra Leone to America today, but it's the reality.
It's the reality. I mean, this is the reality today, right? We see people that have been arrested based on speech. It's not just in America. We see that in Europe. We see that in United Kingdom. We see that in Germany. We see that all over Europe. This is happening all over the world. So let's stop pretending with this nonsense. What do we get for doing now? This part of my argument now. Yeah, part of the problem now with country, they messed up every institution. You remember back in the days we used to have labor unions.
Yep.
But before I even go into that, we used to have labor unions. Labor unions na organization that wouldn't do for the people, because locally members. Now then the Yobo put pressure upon government. We see this so-called civil service organization. These are all nonsense. These are all, if you look at all of them, they're all funded from outside there. Look inside the money they come out. Well, look, I mean, my brothers and sisters, we come outside this box. We come outside this partisan nonsense politics. We look at the country. It's a we need for day. My brothers and sisters, the world will change. The world will change, and there's a new world order that take place right now. Not the world, everything they change. As we all see, there is no so-called international law anymore. Now it's about power, right? If you're big, you get the power. You do what you able to do, and we are vulnerable right now. We see what in Guinea they do already. What you would you do? What you will go you do? My brothers and sisters, unalo will be serious about what politics now with country. Unalo will vet then nonsense people who want to run for office. Lo will vet them. Lo will vet them correctly. Lo will hold with party them responsible. Now then they go be better for with democracy and with party. Una na APC, una question this APC leadership. Hold on a second. For say, we know you will get 300 million leon na we account for pay a fine. How disgraceful is this? And me, for every Sierra Leonean, if APC no will pay fine, 300 whatever, not entrust them for run the country. If you entrust them, what do you get?
Well, we pay we don't pay with fine.
No, Mr. Come on, Doc. Let's. I mean, would I donate the money to them? Oh, please, would I donate the money to them? I mean, Doc. Let's be serious about this. I think. Una na APC, the common people na APC should be really mad about this, right? Because it's disgraceful. It's very, very disgraceful. And for me, nobody no forever vote for this party. If you cannot finance yourself, if you cannot, your basic finances, how you go wrong with country ba? Please let somebody answer that for una na APC, na the whole world in APC. Already, una answer that question, neighbor. Why we Salon people for entrust to now?
Well, we'll go answer them by God's power. I will pass on to the leadership, then we'll answer them for you.
Oh, please. Oh, please, Doc. Oh, please.
All
Doc,
right.
this is
All right.
why we need people like you to freaking and shake things in. Run, Doc. Run, Doc. We need outsider because this nonsense is bad for we land. Look at the problems that we land, Doc. Look at the Kush. Look at the Kush endemic. Look at the economic stagnation since Ebola. Since Ebola will not get economy. I don't care what they tell you.
Okay.
I don't care what they tell you. Anyway, sorry. Sorry for my nonsense. My brothers and sisters, I apologize. I apologize for my nonsense.
I think you made a very good point where a lot of people are supposed to learn from. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the comments. Thank you so much, Konotri. So if you want to be part of the program, so the link is on your comment section of the platform where they watch we from. I think we stop with Sarah. We talk about the differences between the cyber laws in the West and the cyber laws in Sierra Leone. I agree with you, definitely. And Mata is watching from where? London. Mata, thank you very much. Sarah say example is freedom of speech in different in Rwanda based on their history. I think I talked about this last night. Okay, not to this platform, but now the TPN group, WhatsApp group. Talk about this last night. Was it this last night or this morning? I don't remember again, but I talked about this just quite recently. The problem what we get, our democracy is built on a false sense of foreign cultural supremacy. That is the problem we have in Africa. Because we believe in the model in which the Western democracy is built on could fit into the African culture. That's not the mistake we'll get. Okay? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to take this model, decompile it, and redesign it around we own culture. This is the best way with democracy we're able to hold. Otherwise, it's just a tool where the West they use for continue for control. If we use the model, democracy is a fine thing. In fact, anybody will tell you saying democracy started in Europe or in the West, you don't know what they talk about. Now, given the historical perspective, why I say democracy is a culture, it's a cultural thing. Okay, it's a cultural thing. Now, when the Greeks went to Africa, we get this model, this thing where we they use for governance and for representation. They really like that because at the time, the Greeks were ruled by king autocracy. The Roman Empire was actually an autocratic kingdom. The Greeks, the same thing. But then go to Africa, then go see this model. During that time, our model is based on tradition. See the point why they try for you? Happening in the local level today in Sierra Leone, like the chieftaincy. Anybody who come out from a chieftaincy house, like me, it will tell you, if you study them very carefully, for say, that tradition, yes, the Nepal try for wipe them out, but it's still not the bedrock of we what we call democratic system, because democracy is just a name in English language. In the Greek, we go still am from we, then call that demokratos. Demo mean people, kratos mean authority, the people's authority. This model has been going on in Africa for thousands of years. Okay, then go take them. Then can they compile that model where then go steal from Africa? Then can rebuild them on top of the young culture, because democracy is a traditional thing, it's a cultural thing. Okay, then can build them based on the young culture, the European culture. Then use them for sell them out, for expand them outside. And as Africans, when we take a look at this model, even though there are traces of we own models, but because it's now rebuilt on a foundation of European values and tradition, we now know say this was coming from us actually originally. And now we are embracing it. What are we supposed to do? Let's take that, try for decompile it, and rebuild it based on our own tradition. The African culture and the European cultures are different. We know that. Everybody we studied NTI will tell you those are not compatible in some ways. So why do you want to take something that is not compatible and want to force them into a system where not compatible? This is why I think yesterday, this morning, I was discussing with one of my friends, when Mustafa, and one of the APC forum this morning, actually. I explained exactly what I explained, so because he was saying our democracy in Africa is failing us. I try for explaining here why our democracy is failing us, because we try for use a culture that is not compatible with our own culture and try for force it into our own culture. That's why it's resisting. It is good, but we have to rebuild it. We get for redesign them so that it go able to fit. It just feel like you get something, where you have for fix the motor car, but that thing they know what they call, what they do. They try for shape them in a way where it will able for fit, and democracy is not going to succeed in Africa if we want to impose the European values into that. It's not going to happen, because the European values, when it comes to Africa, is a slave master relationship. We are not in an equal footing. So the democracy way then the export to we is always based on that perception, a slave master relationship. And I will give you an example. For say democracy is being used as a tool, not as a process of improving the lives of Africans, but as a way for continued neocolonialism. And Escoma was in power. I don't talk about this so many times, but I still emphasize it. And Escoma was in power. He was a stooge of the West. Everything when they say yes, sir, because now in the one time, when the West they tell you, say you are a model of democracy, if you're an African leader, you are doing the wrong thing. If you do the right thing, I swear to God, they will call you a dictator. I want for with the generation, African young generation, for know this. Anytime when Europe in particular, then they praise somebody, say this is not a model of democracy in Africa, a success story, he is doing the wrong thing. He is a puppet. Europe no will ever allow you for make you take a total interest of your own country. They will never do that. So if Europe anytime, then they praise a leader. People like what's not this leader? Na Kenya, what's my name? These are the darlings of the Europe, East, the West. Okay, so if you are representing your people in a way where they benefit you people, to them, it's a disadvantage to them. So what did they do? Them push this democracy on their own model to win. Every 5 years in some places, sometimes some are 6 years, some are 4 years. But you know why? Then they use them for we against we. Let's take an example. And I hope say Adi Ujalo didn't at this program today. It will serve as or Ablability or the other folks them way they during the time of Anes by Corona. Anes Corona was loved by the West, Europe in particular, Britain in particular, because he was just yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. In last years of in second term, he want for resist the command of the boss. He want for resist Anes Corona. And he got right for doing because there was a time when they come into election, IMF tell we say, the government say, make them remove the subsidies, the fuel subsidies, so that the price they go up, and whether they get for blame the APC party. And the school say, no, come on. When they come into election, you want me for make I can remove their subsidies here, so that when they lose the election. The other thing where they ask we, the mama airport, because the money was coming from China. And they don't want that. IMF don't want that. The World Bank don't want that. They say, we not take that money though. If we not take that money, they not go find for una. And the scholar ignore. You know what they do? Then go behind Madabio. Help Madabio, take Madabio kind of power. Madabio, as a rebel, instead of where he can't see the disaster. He want for change. Madabio want for change. This was the reason why the West say, to hell with you, we are going to pull you out. In the history of Sierra Leone, now the first time this way we see blatant and publicly diplomats are actually interfering into our election publicly. Then they interfere, but it was covered during the time of an Escoma, then they be ended and they interfere. So nobody not being past people the way understand that and they know say they are behind Madabio. But this time around, they are so angry with Madabio, they are so perplexed with the disappointment where Madabio give them for attempts for even renegotiate some of the contract there. This was why, because the NCC, they don't do them privately in our work, so they are coming publicly. It was a disaster. It was a diplomatic disaster. Yes, it benefits we at the APC because they were actually helping us. But to be honest with you, as a patriotic Sierra Leonean, I was very horrified for seeing this public display of disregard for sovereignty. So that's what they do. If you know align with their own interests, then they go take somebody else way willing for align with their own interests for continue with the exploitation and sponsor that person for make them pull you out. So it's a tool. In the eyes of the European, democracy is a tool. And that's what we want as a society. We want for make we able to govern ourselves, we improve our lives and develop our country. That's not the main objective of we democracy. And we are only able for do with the full participation of the people. This is why I said we have to look at the model in which we are using right now, and if possible, we will design them to fit our own values and cultures. The moment we do them, I'm talking about Africa generally, the moment we do them, you will see how we democracy fits into we own equation. Other than that, it's a foreign thing. This model is a foreign thing. All right, let's go to Sarah. Sarah say the possibility of free and fair election rather than selection is very slim, probably 5% out of 100%. You mean for the APC party or for the country? All right, let's go to Christopher Yankam. We Sierra Leoneans are too free. We don't know the boundaries of free speech. Free speech means mamikos in Sierra Leone. Yeah, because we are dishing out we own culture. I don't know how old Christopher Yanka, but I believe say you are old enough for making you know say during the 80s where we they been they grow up, mamikos na something where na kind of a taboo. I don't say no they happen, no, but you know they see no more rampant mamikos at the streets. What happened? This is the question that we need to answer. What really happened? Something went wrong somewhere, and the politicians are taking advantage of that. You know, the politicians are like vultures. Anytime we they see slaughter, they always they hang around for can't take advantage of the situation. So what happened? We need for look at the way we culture they betray we culture too much now, and the picking them who they born, they are actually victims of our own inability for believe in who we are as species, as Africans, for believe in some of we own cultures them. To be honest with you, there are certain cultures that we need reforms and modernize, but I still believe say African cultures are the best. African culture, you know they yell on in parents. Uh-uh. That's not a wonderful culture. You know the curse in mama. That's not a wonderful culture. You know they respect big one them. That's not a wonderful culture. Why are we dishing this culture for something that will never um compatible with who we are? That's the question we need for ask ourselves, my brothers and sisters. It's sad. All right, let's go to Christopher Yanka. Christopher Yanka say, I am not in sympathy with any politician. Politics in Africa na fire. If you no want make you born, enough for play with them. That's not true. Totally true. I agree with you. All right. I don't know if this na Sweden flag limelights now just flags Sierra Leone, Sweden. I don't know. In a Sweden flag or what flag is that? All right. Suleiman Bassi, it's a civil matter, but Sierra Leone is a fragile country already divided. Was like public is not good. All right. Okay. Let me step back. It's a civil matter, but Sierra Leone is a fragile country already divided words like publicly is not good already. Samura move on, call him Mr. President. Why must he say that? Oh, all right. Suleiman, I believe say I understand what you try to talk about. The case now is civil matter, but already Sierra Leone is a very fragile country. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean we have to dish out, we have to abandon the very constitution we protects me and you or anyone else just because somebody is angry or somebody is not happy with within somebody else say. You know. So sometimes we have to resist some of this autocratic behavior. All right, let's go to Sarah. Sarah say, as Secretary General of the APC, Victor Fo and Ambassador Lansana were very responsible and diplomatic in opposition. That's why the people gave them another chance against the SLPP. So it makes sense, really makes sense. Esther Bull say, what goes around comes around. The APC should come together and take the matter further for BO or the police to challenge the allegation. I hope so. I hope say that they're able to defend Lansana Dumbuya. Esther Bull say, I believe is gross advantage. APC need to stand firm and try to put a stop to all this bullying. Now bullying, yeah. In fact, this now we call cyberbullying. Well, not to cyberbullying because this is not physical arrest. The cyber abuse, you know. I agree with you. Esther say, Esther say, I believe. Oh, I don't want to do this. Conotri say, Doc, what does it say about APC not being able to pay a fine? How can we entrust them to govern the country? The PPRC exceed its mandate. Arresting Dumbuya is a disgrace. Sierra Leone is in a problem. Well, I don't know if the APC not able to pay, but I know say immediately after the suspend we about 1 hour or 2 hours, them pay the money. I read the announcement back say APC don't pay the money, the 300 and something million, we don't pay back. It doesn't matter whether somebody else pay it, but at least we try for divert a disaster because today is the 14th, right? Supposed to have election, lower level election today around the country. That could have been postponed, which is a disaster for APC. So I'm glad you for wait and pay the money. Now they want, if you want, they want for challenge this, then therefore pass the process for make them challenge this type of things. Because I don't believe say somebody should bear the responsibility of another person. Because somebody says something just because he joined a political party, so that person is supposed to be held accountable. It don't make sense. All right, Sarah say President Bio is now focusing on building his legacy in the world stage, and Vice President Juliet now handling the governance process in the country. That's why I see. I see now the house summit self. I see now one of the summits the way just happened. Then this year, they talk. Say okay, Prezo. All right, Jelsin say the court system has stated through the judge that this case is a criminal case. The 1965 Public Order Act clearly states what were the violation deemed by Lansana. The law he violated is criminal law. First of all, this we have to stop this, ladies and gentlemen. Why will they steal the reference 1965 Constitution? You know why they put the 1991 Constitution for replace the 1965 Constitution? Because that was the Constitution where it still got some kind of colonial traces or blood spots, you know. But the problem what I see with leaders them, they know they use the 1991 Constitution if they want to go after their opponent, then they always reference the 1965 Constitution. Always. We need to get rid of the 1965 Constitution. It's no longer functioning. Only for the people who want for abuse power. Why you left the most recent Constitution where supposed to replace the 1995 things them. Public order law, or this whatever you call them, this, that. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on the modern way of thinking. 1965 is nearly half a century ago. It don't pass safe. It don't pass half a century. That is 61 years. So we should not stuck on some of them and kick orders here or laws here way then they try for state. So I remember back at the time when the law way Mother Biokam can where they call for journalists them where I think they call them defamation law or something like that, where then they sue journalists 50 for time 1965, 1960, this. Why you not just focus on the current dynamics instead of always and they go take something we don't put we call an trash breathing they call a dustbin. And then they go pick then car for come attack other people there, you know. All right, Christopher Yanka said, Doc, how is the lower level election, which was supposed to start today? Well, it starts today, actually. I think so, because first, after the suspension, it was postponed briefly. But later, after the APC paid the money, they come up with another press release say the election is going to continue as stated, you know. So it happened. Suleiman Base, Doctor, the APC party already moved on by abandoning Samora. So why most Mr. Dumbuya must keep saying it's this is what he keeps saying on the party office. What I noticed APC party have no message. Okay. Okay. Um the APC party has to move on. And I have been advocating for this from the beginning. Say we messed up. I agree. And I said it from the beginning. Say you guys are messing up. I say the best way you get for do it is you don't mess up. Hey, Samola don't mess up. The APC executive, me, I not blame one person, you know what happened. I was there. I was right there. And I was monitoring exactly what made it go on. And that make nobody know they fool me. Okay? Maybe they fool a lot of APC folks them. And I don't say they fool a lot of them. Some of them are intellectual them actually, and the way they fool. But I was right there. I knew exactly what happened. I told them, me not a lawyer, me not anything. Do not mess this up. Go to court. If you believe what you did say, that's not the only way out of this mess. Then come, then bring all kind of excuses. Later on, they acknowledge exactly within some of women they said. So they say, yes, we don't blunder. So they move on. Yeah. Moving up doesn't mean you know go get reference because what happened, within Lansana Dumbuya been a try for say, they been a try for give some kind of a reference for say, look what they do with 2023. We know they allowed the same thing for happen in 2028. So now kind of historical reference line, Lansana Dumbuya been a try for say. Yes, it gets a little bit distracted and too emotional, which a leader not supposed to do. But he was just referencing the obvious for say, then Tifu election in 2023 is Tiffy. So we don't agree again for 2028, this year for happen. They say, but you violate the law. See? All right, Christopher Yanka say, Doc, so you see our culture does not call for you to openly insult or condemn authorities or elders. That's why I think the idea of democracy will not perfectly fit into Africa. The model, exactly the model of the European democracy, you know, they fit in Africa. I agree with you. And exactly now I've been taught. You know, to we, insult is just as bad as any other thing, not so according to we and culture. And I mean, when we they try for write a constitution, let's write a constitution we surround real culture. Not write a constitution we mimic somebody's culture. Because you make the people then confused. A lot of people the way don't travel, Sierra Leone, the way don't travel overseas, way then come, we don't come born picking and we don't learn the Western culture naya. Insult is just part of the game. It's not a crime. It's a civil matter. That's how people then think. Well, when you apply that to Sierra Leone, now the problem we will get is the same people, they want for use the Western culture when it convenience, but when it not convenience, they switch back to the African culture. So you see, now kind of a light bulb where they switch on and off. That's the problem where they talk about. So I agree with you totally. Sarah said, in the 2020 presidential election in the United States, President Trump blamed the system for reason, which was the domino machine. He didn't call President Biden a thief or a thief. You know why? Because the president not gets anything to do with election in the United States. In Sierra Leone, the president almost gets an exclusive power for choose whether they conduct the election and has control over that person. So these two are different. In fact, the federal government is not responsible for election, especially presidential election. They are not. Elections are being managed in the local level. They call them counties. The counties, now they're responsible for election in the United States. In Sierra Leone, the government is responsible for the election. So those two, how they will call Biden Tiffy when not Biden conducts the election. The election is decentralized in America. It's decentralized. So that's not the difference. All right, let's do this quickly. All right. Justin said 1965 Order Act insulting conduct any person who makes use of any threatening, abusive, insulting, or obscene language, gesture, or behavior, or say or sing sunny, insulting, or offensive song. Yeah. The Public Order Act is mostly kind of a civil matter, right? I don't know. All right. Michael Cook is saying, Lansana Dumbuya go prove na court say Madabio na thief, Madabio thief the election. Why for go detain the guy? Why they go detain the guy? When I afraid say it flee, but when I left, boo, when I left. Justin say, make use of any threatening, abusive, insulting, obscene, or profane language, or say or sing any insulting. It's a Public Order Act. So whose side the Public Order Act fall? Is it in the civil matters or criminal matters? Yeah, I don't even understand with this 1965 nonsense way people then they use up to this time. Anyway. All right. Justin say, shall or on conviction be liable to fine exactly. This was what I was waiting. Liable to fine not exceeding 20 leons or imprisoned for a period not exceeding 3 months or both. That's civil. That's civil. Exactly. You see, even the 1960 whatever public order, it fall under the civil code. You can forget a fine. That's what maybe understandable. And to be honest with you, if you then do this, the man were able to pay the 20 leons. But you know why them convert her into criminal? Now because of this. Now because of this. Because even with all this argument, the 1965 code, that's civil. That's civil. You get for pay fine. When you don't pay fine, now they turn down the way that they imprison you. And that's so a civil matter supposed to be. The first thing is paying fine. The second, if you're not able to pay the fine, then that's now the detention come in. But then what they do first, then detain them first. Now then they can't try them. Sometimes then the old land they take the trial done. Then if they're found and guilty, they're not going to say let you pay 20 leons. So and that 20 leons there, I think say now the old leons so because I think say they write this based on the currency at that time, the 20 leons. So they're not going to do it. You know what they do? Then go on for imprisonment for the 3 months. Anyway, that's even matter. Anyway, but as we know, Michael say democracy is slowly disappearing globally because the people who are supposed to be the guardians or the custodians of democracy are slipping away. They have been slipping into dictatorship, autocratic behavior. The United States is the beacon of democracy, right? Now, if a dictator somewhere in the world look at the way we do today, how you go feel say that dictator they take we seriously for whenever we talk about democracy? So it's a very dangerous, it's a slippery slope, very dangerous time where we in. And it's still about three years to go. That 3 years will left. Imagine the 1 year we just don't pass. If people like say na 10 years we don't dip on this nightmare. So we still get 3 years. So it's feedback. If people like say now another 30 years now we get for dip on this nightmare. Justin say he was charged under this account. Okay. Well, we'll go see what's in the gun. Cannot we say, however, the 1965 Public Order Act is unconstitutional in light of our constitution, which grants us freedom of speech. Speech is a cornerstone of any so-called democracy. You can't police speech. Now that make I tell them saying the only time when they want to go after their opponents, then they go all the way 1965 because 1965 public order, whatever they call them, it's based on who just come up and colonial master. In fact, at that time, the colonials are still controlling us. Well, even today they are controlling us anyway. Anyway, so that was based on that, you know. So if we are serious people, not to them kind public order right now, we they try for sites for go after somebody in this 2026, it don't make no sense. All right. Magakuka say APC the supporters na the bomber of Mamikos. That's why you guys will lose big time in 2028. Or left me Magakuka. The Sovayanka say is that why Carter Center was sent to observe the 2023 election. The Carter Center actually destroyed their repetition for that election. So to be honest with you, it was very, very terrible. It was a disaster for not only the Sierra Leone politics, but even for the Carter Center. It wasn't the way. Sarah said the APC made a mistake by changing the selection clause to election in their constitution. Probably after a few decades, they will overcome that mistake. No, well, I don't think it's a mistake. I think the mistake what we'll do is for continue using the selection process, because I made several broadcasts on that particular the disadvantage of using, because people were actually abusing the selection process. The selection process in the 1995 Constitution was temporary. Why that selection process was there? Now, because at the time, the NPRC been done ban public gathering. Okay, them done ban public gathering. So there was no way where the APC were able to organize a convention where for go elect people then. That was the reason why then temporarily put that selection process. It wasn't meant for permanent, but it came to a time when the politicians, Anescoma and in Cabal, yes, and the rest, they misuse them, then they abuse them. You know, we don't see some people then where the people, now their constituency, they elect that particular person for making represent them. But if the powers that be in Freetown, not they elect another person, then we'll tell that person, this young man, go sit down, go wait. Now this person will they give the symbol. So it was not representative at all. There are so many disadvantage for that selection process. I don't say when new things come in, it take time for let people get used to it. But I think say that the best way for let we get election. And now this is going to be our second primaries history of the APC party. I'm talking about genuine primaries. So let's give it a little bit time. It will work for we all. All right, a lot of comments. I don't know if I'm able for continue with the comment. I get 9 minutes more if I go able what call it. I want for stop at 2 hours. All right. Conotri say the clause in the constitution about free speech did not exempt any public figure from criticisms. You have the right to sue civilly for any malicious purpose. Today is them, tomorrow is you. Michael Kuka say freedom of speech has its limitation. You guys just cry babies. Michael Kuka say, Doctor, why don't you guys blame the APC politician who joined with the SLPP to pass such a bad law? I did last week. Did you? You been there last week? If go watch last week episode. In fact, the first people that were blamed was the APC party members of parliament. Those were the first people who were blamed. Say, who said them the way them go stand up, say them go pass such a bad law. Now that make us. I tell the executive say last week, in as much as I disagree with the law, but that law has been enacted and it is legally binding. I said that. I say either them pay the fine or let them go to court. But they refuse to go to court, refuse to pay the fine until after they suspend them. So I already do you see, we at the APC, we're so patriotic, we're not so obsessed with partisan. Now only APC folks then get them kind of attitude here, where then they look at him in a pragmatic way and call him by its name. Ajibu Tijan Jalo. Doc, we do not have a 1965 constitution, but a 1965 Public Order Act, which is part of the 1991 constitution. Thank you very much for your clarification. I noticed that after I don't see now, I see where that guy puts a 1965 public order. So I noticed that. All right. Contrary to the so-called Public Order Act of 1965 has been used to criminalize speech, opponents, and critics. Most of the laws passed in the 60s are contrary to our constitution and to democracy. Yeah, we stop for use the public order. Yeah, not make any sense. Aji Ujalo say Dr. Samora I now describe as deceitful, dishonest, and unwittingly mendacious. In suppose that they come after you. Aji Ujalo saying, by staying silent, he is allowing the baby to be thrown out with the bath water. Mendacious. Sarah saying, the appropriate action against Lansana Dumbuya, who is a practicing lawyer, should be suspending his license for knowing better, as was done with Rudolph Giuliani. Oh, wow. Ajibu Jalo say he joined Senge to present the ANU to the president at the conclusion of the meeting. Deceitful. And people then saying Alayo, where they argue with them and tell you say Bonalabo, Nala then they like Pandamande. Okay. Magdalene Massa Boima saying, that's the reason why, Doctor, you have the playbook. If you really want to help us move forward, you should try by all means to stand as president. You are speaking the truth. What we want to action now, I pray you help us change the trajectory course. Let me read here. The trajectory course, that's exactly what is happening in Sierra Leone and Africa in general. It's high time we stop the hit head aid We don't need it. It's better we suffer and help our people that we are just sitting here all the time, the same cause of our soup. I hear you, my sister. I hear you. Let's pray to God. Let's pray. Ajibu Jallo said the international partners made it clear. No 2023 election discussion. The APC threatened to pull out of the discussion. Samora asked them to continue. Dishonest. Electoral justice guy in the camp and tell you, say, I lie, they lie pan I lie, then they lie pan this man here. They hate the man. Saluman. Okay. All right. Sarah say, what Lansana did was like shouting fire, fire in a crowd hall to cause stampede. But I don't think say a comparable. Because not the first time these people then they tell Madabio say he thief the election. Justin say freedom of speech has conditions. Your freedom shall not impede on my own freedom of speech. All freedom has limits. It must be guided by the law of the constitution. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. But when that freedom is impeded, you use the law, the appropriate law. Okay? Use the appropriate law. That's all I'm saying. Sarah say, thank doctor for defending your party member to the APC to the bone. Well, it's not kind of defending the party. It's kind of pointing to the hypocrisy and the dictatorial tendency of some of we leaders. Them, when it comes to them, everything is good. When it comes to us, everything is bad. Michael Kuka say Osamu is going to be the APC flag bearer in 2028. Guys, I really appreciate this wonderful conversation. And I believe say we did a very good job trying to highlight some of the issues we will get in our country. And I appreciate some of our arguments, some of our statements. It actually helped me. For example, I mistakenly say 1965 Constitution, where it's Public Order Act of 1965, where the influence from the 1991 Constitution according to Ajibu Jallo. Why do we continue for go backward? I see that's also they happen in America now. Daniel Trump want for use an 18 something law for go after the opponent. I say, welcome to Sierra Leone. Welcome to Africa. it's so funny. Anyway, I want to tell you plenty thank you for kind of the program. I get fresh school where they talk you go notice that see me knows how he kind of read a little bit. So but that's always the case with me during winter and can get some stuff he knows and all this type of thing. But it will be all right. So I just want to tell you plenty thank you for your support, for your participation at the program. I want to share the program because it's very important that we continue to educate people. They say a society without knowledge, it's what? Exposed to disaster. You know, they go before. When a society not get knowledge is exposed to exploitation. And they happen in Africa. Because with people them they lack knowledge, so then they grip anything we then tell them, especially if other people then come and can't tell them say, hey, the sky is yellow. Because you're not getting knowledge for saying, you know what, let me go confirm that. So let's continue to share this and help pass the word and continue for educating people then because it's very important that we do that. Otherwise, Sierra Leone is going to be a dumping ground. We don't need, if we actually take care of we resources, we don't need foreign aid. Well, not to aid, foreign debt. We don't need that. But how we able to do? I don't see some people, some places where they don't lease for 100 years. So it's not only destroying the last generation, you're destroying the last generation, you're destroying this generation, and you're also destroying the next generation. How cruel is that? One of the things where, if me become president, they said a president not get the right for signing a contract we precede 10 years. You don't get that right there because that's not the problem start. So if you come na power, we dey expect you say maybe the most way within a power na 10 years. So within that 10 years there, you have to limit the contract we sign. But if you go sign contract where even the next president, the next 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 president, they're not go able for revoke that one day again because you don't come sign a bad law. That's not deprivation of resources them. So that's not the first thing we need for change first. All laws signed or all contracts signed by a president should limit to 10 years because that's not the period where you as the president expectedly you go able for serve. Not go tie the other the other presidents away they come after you, you tie their hand. It's bad. So that's not the first thing we I get for do by God's power. If I become president of Sierra Leone. So well, that's all I have to say. Damn. Konotri say thank you, Doc, and everyone. And Magdalene say, I apologize for the confusion caused by my previous message. My grandson sent it before I could finish dictating. What I meant to say is that I am eagerly awaiting your candidacy. Give your understand, give your understanding of the internal and external the issues. I believe. Let me read here. Understanding of the internal and external issues, I believe you are the right person for this position. Please do not put forward your candidate. Please do put forward your candidate. You will be the first president candidate I support with my vote. Amen to that. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I want for telling plenty thank you now for the wonderful discussion we don't put together. I really appreciate that. I really enjoy that. Let's continue. First of all, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I hope say we all will enjoy with loved ones and stay with families. Okay. All right. Bye bye.